วัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ Good evening and welcome to our Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Rungtip Chonapalai.
And I'm Supachon Quinsuwan, broadcasting live from Chulalongkorn University's Faculty of Communication Arts, bringing you the latest updates of the flooding situation in Bangkok. We're still dry here in downtown Bangkok. Now, out of 50 districts in Bangkok at the moment, about 30 are either totally or partially underwater, with some having foul-smelling waters in the northern districts like Don Mueang or Lac Si, where water has been there for almost a month now, Dr. Rungtip.
But meanwhile, the water in front of the SCB at the near Ratchayotin intersection had receded by about 10 centimeters, though it's still quite difficult for small vehicles to pass.
Now, recently, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or the BMA, has issued a flood risk to residents living along the San Sap Canal. Now, 22 communities at Klong Kum, Nuan Chan, and the Bung Kum districts are being urged to prepare for floods at the moment.
Tomorrow through Wednesday, we'll begin to see the sea level rise as it experiences the high tide. Officials expect the water that is passing through Pathum Thani, Nonthaburi, and Bangkok will be higher, which makes it more difficult to drain it to the sea. People who live on both sides of the Chao Phraya River, however, should be paying close attention to the water level. Despite flood water at the Rat Phraw intersection maintaining the 60 to 70 centimeter level, Vipavadi Rangsit and Pahonyotin are also seeing water levels decrease. For example, in front of the Daily News newspaper headquarters, waters have dropped 80 centimeters. Water at the Kampang Phet intersection near the Moshit Northern Bus Terminal is also down by 20 centimeters.
This is a result of 2 days of water-pushing vessels in the Bang Su Canal. Bang Su is a strategic location which experts say if it overflows, Victory Monument and downtown Bangkok will have a higher chance of drowning. Water at the water gates in the Far East district of Nong Jok is down a little, yet more water at Mit Maitri and Liepwari roads will likely flow into the Suwintuwong and Chalongkrung roads. Inner Lom Krao Road, which links to the Suvarnabhumi Airport, is still 1.21 meters underwater, while areas along the San Sap Canal in Bung Kum and Bang Kapi districts are overflown with water from the canal.
Going to the west, authorities in Bang Bon are building a 7-kilometer long dike to ensure water does not overflow the Mahasawat Canal. This should be done within a week. Nearby Phet Kasem Soi 110, which leads to Nakhon Pathom, is under 1.5 meters of water. Bang Khun Tien district's overall water level is about 5 centimeters higher, but Thai PBS reporters in the field are saying it does not affect the livelihoods of the local yet.
Moving away from Bangkok, Irrigation Authority says that the water in Nakhon Sawan is gradually subsided. Cleanup is beginning at the moment. The amount of water going through the Chao Phraya Dam has also decreased. However, some of the water that has drained to Bangkok has lingered in rice fields and is now slowly making its way towards the capital. A lot of floodwaters from the north have not been draining at all. So instead of just letting it sit there, officials are using water pumps and machines to push the water into the Gulf of Thailand. Now, Dr. Rungtip, as a leader of the country, Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra is asking for advice from many parties, many parts of the society, both for Thailand as well as foreign.
Yes, U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is consulting with the Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra on what Thailand needs in terms of aid. Ms. Clinton is expected to visit the Kingdom of Thailand next week.
Right. Now, floodwaters, however, are still threatening the industrial estates at Bang Chan and Lat Krabang, but officials are already prepared to block the water out of the factories. The Secretary General of the Engineering Association of Thailand has been serving as an advisor for the situation at Bang Chan. He says the estate is still okay and can handle the floods, but there's some water leaking past the sandbags. But so far, the water has been successfully pumped out.
If the waters hit 1.4 meters, factories will be forced to evacuate. Even though 1/5 of the factories in Bang Chan are already shut down, the drainage plan is working because the water level dropped by 9 centimeters. But this morning, it has gone up slightly. Officials brought in 2 more boats to help push the water toward the San Sap Canal. So far, there's been very good cooperation with the Bangkok Metropolitan Authority to protect the factories. There's now a debate on whether the gate at the Samwa Canal should be closed from 1 meter to 60 centimeters to slow down the water coming south.
Meanwhile, the floods are also threatening the Lakrabang Industrial Estate. The water level is increasing and is coming very close to the dikes. No water is breaching yet, but it's coming from the north, east, and west. The south side is still dry, with residents still living comfortably. Some water is leaking through the sandbags, but not much. More than 50 water pumps are available for drainage, and the dikes have been forfeited.
And earlier I spoke to the Ministry of the Industry, and here is what he had to say about the situation.
We have strengthened 13 kilometers flood wall from 1.4 meters to 2.4 meters by using Viva boards together with sandbag and 200 meters concrete barrel covered with plastic sheet to prevent water seepage. In addition, we also use bentonite to harden soil to curb with soil erosion. The critical part is in the north of the estate. Therefore, we use sheet piling to reinforce the flood wall, which is to subdue water leakage underneath the wall. We have installed 54 electric turbine and diesel engine to drain water with capacity approximately 1.5 million cubic meter a day. We have deployed 581 Army personnel and about 200 workers to support the operation. Currently, the water at the north point of the estate is 1.27 meter high, so we think we have a good chance to protect the estate.
7 industrial areas have been affected from this flood crisis. However, the owners from Japan were hit the most.
Yes, about 2/3 of all the plants underwater are Japanese factories, though several big companies are recovering with plans to resume production. Japanese automaker Toyota is moving forward with plans to resume production, while Panasonic Electric Works is hoping to stay on track with production. Toyota is expected to resume production on the 21st. That's more than a month after severe flooding shut down operations. Toyota has 3 plants in Thailand, none of which were directly affected from the floods. But supply chain disruptions at the industrial estates in the central region forced Toyota to halt production. 2 other Japanese automakers, Nissan and Mazda, have also decided to resume production of some models in Thailand.
Meanwhile, Panasonic Electric Workers have factories in Thailand. 2 of them were flooded and more than 5,000 workers were affected. Panasonic is promising that they will keep them employed. Those who stay in Thailand will get 75% of their wages. Some are being asked to move to Japan temporarily. The floods have affected the production line because Thailand is the main manufacturer to export worldwide. Some Thai workers will work at the main branch in Bangkok. When the flood subsides, the factory plans to reopen immediately.
Now, during the flood crisis, Dr. Rumtip, we've been seeing some outlets, think tanks, organizations, public and private, giving their speculations of where and how much the water will hit next, right? But for both permanent residents and foreigners, information is the key. Of course, for survival.
Yes, and preparation. And I spoke to the Dean of the Faculty of Communication Arts here at Chulalongkorn University earlier. She said communication is the key to crisis management. Here is what she had to say.
We have to work together and use the same system. If you use different system, people don't understand. For example, in the national level, nobody understands about the watch system or the warning stage or the evacuation stage. But at Bangkok metropolitan level, a lot of people get, to understand the level of watch and warning and evacuation. So, this system, we have to use the system in the same way so that people grab that kind of concept and they know how to prepare themselves. If the watch system come and they don't need to be urgent, but they have to prepare themselves. Gather all the things that they have, be prepared to get, lift all the things, belongings up to the 2nd floor and get ready to get out of the house.
Just evacuate themselves.
For the evacuations process.
And thanks again for the cooperation with the Chulalongkorn University, especially at the Faculty of Communication Arts.
Right. Now, while downtown Bangkok, Dr. Rungtip, is still dry, many foreigners have also canceled their trips to Thailand. And according to our reporter in the field, she claims that it's because the foreign reporters are presenting the news not as it should be. Here's Kun Pimnara Uruno with the story.
The streets in Bangkok facing the worst flood in 5 decades. With images of flood water expanding, many foreign visitors have cancelled hotel bookings in that area. While the Thai flood victims staying here say they had no idea that this area would be flooded. Meanwhile, the Central Grand Hotel sitting in the heart of downtown, surrounded by high-end shopping centers and head offices, have now become a temporary shelter for some people affected by the flood. This family not only stays in this hotel, but they are using this hotel as a temporary office to run their export business.
As we are checking that this area is inside of the Bangkok and it's a business area. I think the government can protect. It's very strong to protect the flooding here.
Thai PBS found out that hotels of different grades and sizes located outside flood-prone areas are also affected by the flood. Even though this area has not been inundated, but foreign visitors decreased. One reason is Thai news and international news report only flood situation of Thailand. Gus Steve, president of Central Hotels and Resorts, told Thai PBS that last week alone the group saw up to 18,500 cancellations because people are not aware that tourist destinations outside the central region are not affected by the crisis.
The hotels in the resort areas are not affected at all by water, but they are affected by the cancellation of bookings because unfortunately the international press has reported only about the floods, but they have not reported that all the tourist destinations have no floods. The beaches are perfect in Samui, in Pattaya, in Phuket and all this.
The Dusit Thani Hotel, also dry at the moment, saw more than half of the foreign bookings cancelled. Yet, the hotel still has about 80 to 90% occupancy rate due to flood victims taking in at a discount rate. Dusit Thani CEO admits some foreign media are overreacting, and that is what's killing Thai hotels.
We have lost a lot of international visitors, both for leisure and for business, who are supposed to come to Bangkok. And actually we have been losing them even a month or more ago because of the news that come out. The news that come out that Bangkok to be flood, Bangkok to be flood. A good example, I was in Europe last week for a conference. And the CNN was announcing that Bangkok major airport is closed. And they have a photograph of plane sitting in the water, Thai international airplane. But we are Thai know that that is not Suvarnabhumi, it's Don Mueang airport. But nothing happened.
Despite entering high season for over a month, inbound figures are not bringing any smiles to the faces of people in the tourist industry. Fingers are crossed that the flood situation will clear up by early December. Pimnara Aruno reporting.
Thank you, Kun Pimnara. So it's either overreacting or misunderstanding.
Okay, coming up is the flood projections with Kun Darin Khok-Ankara and Associate Professor Seri Suparathit. Kun Darin, please.
Thank you, Dr. Rungtip and Kun Supachon. Today, I still have some situation to report you. Even though the inner Bangkok is still dry, but the flood water from the north is coming nearer and nearer to it. Dr. Seri, can you update us with the situation? Do you have some good news for us today?
Yeah, good news is that the in the upper part of Bangkok, the water level is reduced and reduced.
At least that's good news.
Yeah, there is at least 4 centimeters per day. That's a good news. Yeah, but anyway, the flood discharge is still enter in Bangkok. Along the big back. It's still enter, and now we have to fight with the flood at Krong Bang Sue. Okay, you see that. Big bag is allowed here in front. Okay, this one you see we can separate the flood discharge into 2 parts. The first part is along the Vipavdi and Ponjotin. This they go to. We use the Bang Sue Canal to fight with them with the enormous how we call it, several pumping capacity here. Right now we can fight with it. Now we can maintain the water level.
So it's not coming to the downtown yet.
Yeah, it come downtown yet. But if the pumping here is broke, the problem will happen immediately. That's we worry about. That's
And how about in the west side?
In the west side, I think that the issues about the Palam 2 will be flood is, I think if it is flood, it will not Palam 2 here, okay, it will not flood with the very high water level because now you see now the water front is around here, the flood front here, it's maybe about this one, the most nearest is about 10 meters. But you know the elevation of this road is about 50 centimeters above the water level now. But in order to increase the water level and then to flush downstream, this will not be higher than 50 centimeters. Will not be. So it's take very slowly. Anyway, the water flood already passed underground this road already. We have seen flood in along many soils in here. But so the problem up to transport along this road, I think maybe the flood will be about 10 to 20 cents only. You can transport.
So we can travel through the Ramatu Road. Thank you very much, Dr. Seri. So the Ramatu Road is the main road to the southern of Thailand. If there is some problem with it, we will have problem of traveling to the south. Dr. Rungtip and Kun Supachon.
Thank you, Kun Darren and Associate Professor Dr. Seri.
And for our viewers out there, please feel free to check out our archives at our website, www.thaipbs.or.th/flood54en.
And you can also email us news@thaipbs.or.th.
And that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Supachon Klinsuwan.
I'm Rungtip Chonapalai. Good night.
สวัสดีครับ